The nursery still smells like fresh paint and broken promises. I stand in the doorway staring at the empty crib where my daughter should be sleeping. My fingers trace the note crushed in my palm, the last piece of my sister I'll ever hold. I'm Noelle, and 6 hours ago, I had everything. A loving husband, a devoted sister, and a baby girl growing in my sister's womb. Our miracle after years of failed IVF. Now I have a hollow house and a note that reads, "We couldn't fight what we felt. She deserves parents who truly love each other. I'm sorry." The words blur as tears fall. My knees give out and I slide down the nursery wall, surrounded by cheerful yellow walls we painted together just last weekend. Brianna had laughed, getting paint in her hair while protecting her swollen belly. My belly. Our baby. "Mrs. Jordan," a voice calls from downstairs. The police officer I called when I first came home to silence. "We need to ask you a few more questions." I drag myself up, legs shaking. "Coming." The officer sits at my kitchen table, her notepad open. "When did you last speak with your sister or husband?" "This morning. Jude, my husband, said he had a client meeting. Brianna had a doctor's appointment." My voice sounds hollow, disconnected. "I tried calling both their phones when I got home from work, straight to voicemail." "And the baby was due?" 3 weeks. The words catch in my throat. "We had the nursery ready early because Brianna was staying with us for the final month. The surrogacy agreement..." I stop, remembering the thick stack of papers Lena, my lawyer, had insisted on. "There are legal documents. She can't just..." "We'll need copies of those documents," the officer says gently. "Have you checked their rooms? Any signs of planned departure?" I lead her upstairs to the guest room where Brianna had been staying. The closet stands open, hangers empty. Her pregnancy journal, the one I'd bought her to document everything, is gone. But under the bed I spot something. Pulling it out, my heart stops. It's a pamphlet for a private adoption agency in another state. "How long?" I whisper to the empty room. "How long were they planning this?" The officer takes the pamphlet, adding it to her growing stack of evidence. As she continues searching, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. "Hello? Noelle?" It's Lena, my lawyer. "I just got a concerning email from a colleague. There's been unusual activity, someone attempting to file custody paperwork in Arizona. I think..." "They're gone," my voice cracks. "Brianna and Jude, they took my baby and ran." Silence crackles across the line. Then, "Don't move, I'm coming over. We need to act fast." I hang up and return to the nursery. The officer follows, watching as I touch the tiny clothes still hanging in the closet. "These are designer," I say numbly. "Brianna insisted, said the baby deserved the best." "Mrs. Jordan, I have to ask, was there any indication your sister and husband were having an affair?" The words taste like acid. "No, God, no. She's my baby sister. We shared everything. She offered to be our surrogate when we found out I couldn't..." I stop, remembering all the late-night cravings runs Jude insisted on making. The whispered conversations that stopped when I entered rooms. I'd been so grateful, so blind. Something catches my eye beneath the changing table. An envelope, unmarked. With trembling fingers, I open it. Inside is a single photo. Jude and Brianna wrapped in each other's arms, her pregnant belly between them. On the back, in my husband's handwriting, "You'll thank us someday. She'll have a better life with parents who are truly in love." The officer reaches for me as my legs give out again, but I barely feel her touch. All I can see is that photo, that belly, that betrayal captured in glossy 486 inches. My phone buzzes again. "Lena, I'm 5 minutes away," she says when I answer. "Noelle, listen to me carefully. We're going to fight this, that contract we wrote. It's going to be their worst nightmare." I clutch the photo, feeling something cold and hard crystallize in my chest. "Good," I whisper, "because I'm going to make them regret the day they ever thought they could steal my baby. 6 years can change everything." The woman staring back at me in the law firm's bathroom mirror barely resembles the broken teacher I used to be. My once soft brown hair is now a sleek platinum bob. Designer clothes replace the flowery dresses I wore when I thought love was enough. "Noelle!" Violet knocks on the door. "Lena needs those Thompson files before lunch." "Coming." I straighten my blazer and grab my leather portfolio. The corner office where I now work as a legal assistant is a far cry from my old classroom, but it's given me something more valuable than a paycheck: knowledge. Lena glances up as I enter, her reading glasses perched on her nose. "There's my favourite paralegal. How's the certification study going?" 3 more months. I hand her the files. Then I can officially make other people's lives hell through the power of paperwork. She laughs, but her eyes are serious. "You've come so far from that night I found you surrounded by police officers in your kitchen. Thanks to you." I perch on the edge of her desk. "That clause you helped me slip into the surrogacy contract. Pure genius. A shame we never got to use it." Lena removes her glasses. "Have you heard anything?" "Not since they surfaced in California 2 years ago. Brianna's Instagram is private now, but her profile picture shows a little girl with..." I swallow hard. "With my eyes." "Soleil," Lena says softly. "They named her Soleil." "Sunshine." I laugh bitterly. Ironic, considering how dark everything got. The intercom buzzes. "Ms. Peters, your 3 o'clock cancelled." "Perfect." Lena stands. "Drinks? We should celebrate your last case filing. That prenup you drafted was flawless." "Can't. Meeting my therapy group." She squeezes my shoulder. "Still twice a month?" "Down from weekly. Dr. Marcus says I'm making progress." I gather my things, though she's still concerned about my obsessive tendencies regarding legal precedents. "Speaking of which," Lena pulls out a folder. "Remember that case we discussed? The one about genetic rights post-surrogacy? The Missouri ruling, where the biological mother regained custody after proving emotional manipulation. You've been doing your homework," she smiles. "Keep it up. Knowledge is power," I finish. "Trust me, I know." The elevator dings as I head out. Violet catches up, waving her car keys. "Need a ride to group?" "Thanks, but I like walking. Helps clear my head." My apartment is 20 blocks away, in a secure building with a doorman. No more cute suburban house with a nursery. No more memories lurking in empty rooms. Tommy, the evening doorman, waves as I approach. "Miss Noelle, some people were asking for you earlier. Said they were family." My heart stops. "What did they look like?" "Couple in their 30s. Woman was pretty upset, had a little girl with them, maybe 6 or 7. The portfolio slips from my hands, papers scattering across the marble floor. Tommy rushes to help me collect them. "I told them you weren't home," he continues. "They left this." He hands me a crumpled envelope. My name is written in familiar handwriting. Brianna's. "When?" My voice shakes. "About an hour ago. They said they'd come back." I fumble with my phone, dialing Lena. "They're here," I whisper when she answers. "In the city. With her." "Don't do anything," Lena says sharply. "Wait for me. Whatever's in that envelope." I have to know. I'm already tearing it open, pulling out a single sheet of paper. A medical report. Words jump out at me. Diamond Blackfan anemia. Genetic match required. Urgent treatment needed. And there, highlighted in yellow, biological mother identified as potential donor match. A knock echoes through my apartment. Then another. Through the peephole I see them, Jude and Brianna, older, worn. Between them stands a little girl with my eyes, my chin, my blood running through her veins. "Noelle!" Brianna's voice cracks. "Please, we need your help." I press my forehead against the door, feeling 6 years of carefully constructed plans clicking into place. Everything I've prepared for, everything I've become. "Coming?" I call out, and reach for the handle. The door opens with the weight of 6 years. Brianna looks smaller than I remember, her designer clothes replaced by a worn sweater. Jude's hair has started greying at the temples. But it's the little girl who steals my breath. She's all me, from the arch of her eyebrows to the slight dimple in her chin. Hi, the girl says softly. I'm Soleil. My name catches in my throat. Lena's voice echoes in my head. Stay calm. Stay focused. Come in. I step aside, my heels clicking against hardwood floors. Would anyone like water? Please, Brianna whispers. Her hands shake as she guides Soleil to my couch. In the kitchen, I grip the counter until my knuckles turn white. Deep breaths. I fill 4 glasses, arranging them on a silver tray. A far cry from the mismatched mugs from my teaching days. Nice place, Jude says when I return. He's standing by my bookshelf, examining the law texts. You've changed. That tends to happen when your husband and sister steal your baby. The words come out ice cold. Soleil looks up sharply. Mommy, she asks Brianna. What does she mean? Brianna pales. Sweetie, why don't you show Noelle your drawing? The one from the hospital. Soleil pulls out a folded paper from her pocket. A child's drawing of a hospital bed, stick figures surrounding it. The doctor says I'm sick, she explains, handing it to me. But they can make me better if we find the right person to help. My fingers trace the crayon lines. Diamond black fan anemia, I say. Rare genetic condition, requires a compatible donor. How did you... Jude starts. I hold up the medical report they left earlier. Tommy gave me your letter. Quite a coincidence that I'm a match. Not a coincidence, Brianna whispers. You're her biological mother. Soleil's head snaps up again. The confusion in her eyes cuts deeper than any betrayal. But you're my mommy, she says to Brianna. I am, sweetie, but it's complicated. Nothing complicated about it, I say, sitting beside Soleil. Your mommy was supposed to help carry you for me, but she and your daddy decided to keep you instead. Noelle, please, Jude steps forward. She's too young. For the truth, I meet his eyes. Like I was too naive to see what was happening right in front of me. Brianna starts crying. We'll tell her everything when she's older. Right now we just need my bone marrow, I finish. My genetic material, again. Soleil tugs at my sleeve. Can you make me better? Those eyes, my eyes, brim with innocent hope. I touch her cheek gently. Of course I can, sweetheart. But there are conditions. Anything, Brianna says quickly. Too quickly. I retrieve a folder from my desk. Legal documents. My lawyer drew them up years ago, just in case. Lawyer? Jude pales. Lena Peters. Remember her. She helped with the original surrogacy contract. I spread the papers on my coffee table. The one you both violated. What are these? Brianna picks up the first page. Terms. I'll help Soleil, but you'll both sign full custody rights over to me. The room goes silent. Even Soleil seems to sense the tension, pressing closer to Brianna. You can't be serious, Jude sputters. 6 years ago, you took everything from me. My voice remains steady. Now you need something only I can give. Funny how karma works. She's our daughter, Brianna clutches Soleil. We raised her. With money you stole from me. Don't think I forgot about the drained accounts, Jude. Soleil starts crying softly. I don't feel good, Mommy. Brianna's resistance crumbles. How long do we have to decide? The hospital can take us tomorrow morning. I gather the papers. But I need your answer tonight. Every day we wait puts Soleil at greater risk. Can I stay with Mommy and Daddy? Soleil asks through tears. I kneel before her, wiping her cheek. We'll figure everything out, sweetheart. Right now, let's focus on making you better. Jude and Brianna exchange desperate looks. The same silent communication I once mistook for sibling affection. We'll sign, Brianna whispers. Just help her, please. I hand them my pen, watching as they sign away the life they stole. Soleil dozes against Brianna's shoulder, exhausted. I'll see you at Memorial Hospital, I say, showing them out. 9 a.m. Don't be late. The door closes behind them. I pull out my phone. Lena, they signed. Everything's going exactly as we planned. Memorial Hospital's fluorescent lights cast harsh shadows across Brianna's face as she signs the final consent form. Her hand trembles, smearing the ink. Beside her, Jude stares blankly at the stack of papers, like a man watching his execution. Initial here. Lena points to another line. And here. This confirms you understand the medical procedures and custody arrangements. I don't understand why we need so many documents, Jude mutters. It's a simple donation. Lena's smile is razor sharp. Nothing simple about genetic rights, Mr. Jordan. Or should we discuss the legality of your previous actions? He falls silent. Down the hall, through the pediatric ward's window, I watch Soleil colouring with a nurse. She's already wearing the small hospital gown, her dark hair braided neatly. My hair. All done, Lena announces, gathering the papers. The procedure is scheduled for tomorrow morning. Brianna stands abruptly. I need to check on Soleil. Actually, I step forward, the child life specialist wants to prep her. Family members should wait here. I'm her mother, Brianna's voice cracks. Legally? Lena arches an eyebrow. Not as of... She checks her watch. 3 minutes ago. Brianna collapses back into her chair, shoulders shaking. Jude puts an arm around her, but his eyes follow me as I enter Soleil's room. Look! Soleil holds up her drawing. It's all of us at the hospital. See, there's you giving me the special medicine. I sit beside her bed, studying the crayon figures. That's beautiful, sweetheart. Are you scared about tomorrow? She shakes her head. The nurse said you're giving me some of your blood cells because they match mine, like puzzle pieces. Exactly like that. I help her arrange her stuffed animals. You know, when I was your age, I had the same dimple in my chin. Really? She touches her face. Daddy says I look just like you sometimes, but then Mommy gets sad. My heart tightens. Does that happen often? Mommy getting sad? Soleil fiddles with her hospital bracelet. She cries a lot, especially when she looks at old pictures. Daddy works all the time now, and they fight when they think I'm sleeping. That must be hard, she nods. Last week, Mommy threw a picture frame. It had their wedding photo in it. A knock interrupts us. Violet stands in the doorway holding a gift bag. Special delivery for Miss Soleil. For me? Soleil's face lights up. My friend brought you some things to make your stay more comfortable. I help her open the bag, revealing new colouring books, fuzzy socks, and a soft purple blanket. Purple's my favourite. She hugs the blanket. How did you know? Because it was my favourite at your age. Because you're mine. Lucky guess, I say instead. Violet pulls me aside while Soleil explores her gifts. Are you sure about this? She whispers. The custody transfer? Raising her yourself? They're drowning, Violet. Look at them. I gesture toward the waiting room, where Brianna rocks back and forth while Jude paces. They've been running for 6 years, and it's destroying them all. And you think taking their child will help? My child, I correct sharply. They stole her once. Everything since then has been borrowed time. The hospital intercom crackles. Visiting hours are ending. Time for rest, I tell Soleil, tucking her in with the new blanket. Big day tomorrow. Will you be here when I wake up? Promise. I kiss her forehead before heading out. Brianna intercepts me in the hallway. Wait, she grabs my arm. There's something you should know. Unless it's another betrayal, I'm not interested. It's about Soleil. Her voice drops. She knows more than we've told her. She asks questions about where babies come from, why she looks like you, and what do you tell her? Nothing, but she's smart, Noelle. Like you always were. Brianna's eyes fill with tears. She deserves the truth. You're right. I pull free from her grip, and soon she'll have it. Walking away, I hear Jude ask, What did she say? Nothing, Brianna responds. Nothing we haven't earned. Outside, the night air is crisp. My phone buzzes with a text from Lena. Papers filed with the court. By this time tomorrow, everything changes. I look up at Soleil's window where a small hand waves goodnight through the glass. Sweet dreams, little one, I whisper. Tomorrow we both get what we deserve. Does it hurt? Soleil asks, watching the nurse prep my arm for the bone marrow extraction. Just a little, I lie, knowing the procedure will be far from comfortable. Like a big pinch. She nods solemnly, clutching her purple blanket. 3 days of pre-treatment have left her pale, but her eyes remain bright. Can I hold your hand? Actually, sweetie, the nurse interrupts gently, you'll need to wait outside with Brianna and Jude during the procedure. A knock at the door saves me from seeing Soleil's disappointed face, but instead of the usual hospital staff, a familiar figure stands in the doorway. Kinley, I sit up straighter. What are you doing here? My childhood friend looks exactly as she did in high school, fierce and determined. Heard through the grapevine you were here. We need to talk. I'm kind of in the middle of something. It's about them. Her eyes flick toward the waiting room where Brianna and Jude sit. And it can't wait. The nurse checks her watch. We have 20 minutes before the procedure. Should I? Take Soleil to her parents, I decide. I'll be right back. Kinley leads me to a quiet corner of the hospital garden. The morning air is crisp, making me pull my robe tighter. Remember when I moved to Arizona? She starts. 6 years ago, right after... My throat tightens. I saw them, Noelle. 2 years ago. She pulls out her phone, scrolling through photos. Jude was working at my husband's investment firm, or should I say, trying to work. She shows me an article from a local business journal. The headline makes my blood freeze. Local financial advisor under investigation for client fund misappropriation. He lost everything, Kinley continues. Client money, their savings, even their house. Brianna had to move them into a studio apartment. Why didn't you tell me? I tried. Changed my number 6 times trying to track you down. She grips my arm. But that's not all. Brianna, she's not well. I saw her at a grocery store once, talking to herself. She kept saying she took something that wasn't hers, that karma was coming. A commotion from the hospital entrance interrupts us. Brianna storms out, Jude following. You can't keep avoiding the paperwork, he shouts. The insurance needs... I can't, Brianna screams, drawing stares from passers-by. I can't sign another thing. Don't you see what we did, what we're still doing? I step forward without thinking. Everything okay? They freeze. Brianna's mascara runs in black streaks down her face. Fine, Jude says curtly. Private conversation. Nothing's private anymore. Brianna laughs hysterically. Ask Soleil. She knows. She's always known. What does that mean? But Brianna's already running back inside. Jude gives me a warning look before following. See what I mean? Kinley says softly. They're imploding. Back in my room, the nurse preps the anesthesia. Through the window, I see Soleil in her room across the hall, drawing again. Want to see? She asks when I stop by for a final check. It's my family. The crayon drawing shows 5 figures. Who's everyone? That's Daddy and Mommy and me, she points. And that's you. And that's my other Mommy in heaven. My heart stops. Other Mommy? Mommy told me my first Mommy couldn't keep me, so she's in heaven watching over me. Soleil looks up. But that's not true, is it? You're my first Mommy. The room spins. Who told you that? Nobody, but I look like you. And I found an old picture in Mommy's drawer. You were holding her hand in a hospital before I was born. She tilts her head. Why didn't you keep me? Before I can answer, the nurse returns. Time for the procedure, Ms. Noelle. Wait, Soleil grabs my hand. Will you tell me the truth after? The real truth? I kiss her forehead, breathing in her sweet child's scent. Yes, sweetheart. When this is all over, you'll know everything. As they wheel me toward the procedure room, I catch a glimpse of Brianna watching from the hallway, her face a mask of defeat. She knows what I know now. The truth doesn't die. It just waits, growing stronger in silence until it's ready to shatter everything in its path. The hospital stairwell echoes with Brianna's heels as she corners me 3 days after the bone marrow extraction. My hip still aches, but not as much as the wild look in my sister's eyes hurts. "You planned this," she hisses. "All of it. The contracts, the custody papers, even the timing." I lean against the railing. "Planned Soleil getting sick. That's a new low, even for your accusations." "No, but you knew we'd come crawling back eventually." She runs shaking fingers through unwashed hair. "You've been waiting. Building your perfect life, your fancy job, learning all those laws." "Speaking of laws," I straighten up, "how's Jude handling those fraud investigations in Arizona?" She freezes. "How did you... I have friends everywhere now, Brianna. Amazing what people share when they learn what you did to me. We did it for love." "Love?" I laugh coldly. "Was it love when you drained my bank accounts, when you filed adoption papers behind my back? Or when you listed yourself as the biological mother on Soleil's birth certificate?" Her face crumples. "You don't understand. Jude and I..." "Save it." I pull out my phone, showing her the text from the hospital administrator. "Soleil's transfusion is scheduled for tomorrow. Once she recovers, the custody transfer becomes permanent." "You can't take her." Brianna grabs my arm. "She needs her mother." "Exactly." I shake her off. "She needs me. I raised her. I was there for every nightmare, every scraped knee, using my money in my place after stealing my child." My voice echoes through the stairwell. "Did you think I wouldn't find out about Jude's secret phone, the one that had your name saved as Chandler while you were carrying my baby?" She stumbles back. "How?" "I saw the messages the night before you left. All those plans you made, thinking you were so clever." I step closer. "But here's what you never understood, sister dear. I was always smarter than you, always one step ahead. Mommy." A small voice cuts through our tension. Soleil stands in the doorway clutching her IV pole. "Why are you fighting?" Brianna wipes her face quickly. "Nothing, sweetie, just grown-up stuff." "Is it about who my real mum is?" The silence is deafening. "Because I found this." Soleil pulls a crumpled paper from her pocket, an old ultrasound photo with my name on it. "It was in your diary, Mommy, the one you cry over at night." Brianna slides down the wall sobbing. "I'm so sorry, baby. We never meant to hurt anyone." "But you did," I say softly. "And now it's time to make things right." A nurse appears behind Soleil. "There you are. You shouldn't be walking around yet." As she guides Soleil back to her room, I hear my daughter ask, "Will you tell me the whole story soon? The real one?" "Yes," Brianna and I answer simultaneously. Once Soleil's gone, Brianna looks up at me, mascara streaking her cheeks. "She's all I have left. Jude's talking about running again. The investigators are closing in. Then maybe you should have thought about consequences 6 years ago." "Please," she whispers. "We can share her. Find a way." "Like you shared her with me?" I pull out one final document. "This is a voluntary termination of parental rights. Sign it, and I won't press charges against Jude for the financial fraud." Her hand shakes as she takes the paper. "You're destroying us." "No, Brianna, you did that yourself." I head toward the door. "Sign it before tomorrow's procedure, or I'll let the Arizona authorities know exactly where to find him." "You've changed," she calls after me. "The sister I knew would never be this cruel." I pause, hand on the doorknob. "The sister you knew died the day you stole her baby. Remember that when you're signing those papers." Walking away, I hear her break down completely, her sobs echoing through the stairwell like the death knell of her stolen happiness. Tomorrow, Soleil gets her transfusion. Tomorrow, everything changes. My phone buzzes. Lena confirming the final custody hearing date, one more piece falling perfectly into place. The courtroom feels smaller than I imagined. Soleil sits between two social workers, her hospital bracelet still on her wrist, though she's been discharged for a week. The transfusion was successful, my blood bringing life back to her cheeks, just like it gave her life in the first place. "All rise," the bailiff calls. Judge Martinez studies the papers before her. "This is an unusual case," she begins. "We have a surrogacy agreement violation, identity fraud, financial misconduct, and now a custody dispute." Brianna's new lawyer stands. "Your Honour, my client has been the child's primary caregiver for 6 years. The biological mother willingly..." "Willingly," Lena interrupts, rising. "I have evidence proving otherwise." She approaches with a thick folder, including the original surrogacy contract, falsified adoption papers, and documentation of funds stolen from my client. The judge reviews the documents while Brianna trembles beside her lawyer. Jude's chair sits empty. He fled the state 3 days ago, just as I predicted. "Miss Brianna," Judge Martinez looks up, "can you explain why you filed adoption papers claiming to be the biological mother?" We thought it would be easier," Brianna whispers. "Noelle wasn't ready to be a mother. We were doing her a favour." "A favour?" I stand despite Lena's warning hand. "Show her the letters, Your Honour, the ones Brianna wrote during the pregnancy." The judge pulls out a stack of papers, Brianna's pregnancy journal, which Kinley found in Arizona and overnight mailed to us. "Week 16, the judge reads. "Jude kissed me today. We know it's wrong, but this baby deserves parents who are truly in love. Noelle will understand someday." Brianna crumples in her seat. "Week 28. Found a house in Arizona, using end savings for the down payment. She'll never think to look there." "Stop," Brianna pleads. "Week 32, the judge continues. The adoption agency says we can file papers in another state. No one will know the truth." The social worker stands. "Your Honour, we've spoken with Soleil. She's aware of the situation and has expressed interest in knowing her biological mother." "Is this true?" the judge asks Soleil directly. Soleil nods, her small face serious. "I found pictures and I look like Noelle and..." She pulls out a folded paper from her pocket, the hospital drawing. "I always knew something wasn't right. Sweetie, please." Brianna starts crying. "Everything I did was for you." "You lied," Soleil says quietly. "You and Daddy both lied." The judge shuffles her papers. "Given the evidence of fraud, the violation of the surrogacy agreement, and the child's awareness of her biological mother, I'm granting immediate full custody to Noelle, with supervised visitation rights for Brianna, pending psychological evaluation." The gavel strikes. Brianna screams, "No, you can't take her! Soleil, baby, please!" But Soleil is already walking toward me, her small hand slipping into mine. "Can we go home now?" "This isn't over!" Brianna shouts as security holds her back. "She's my daughter, mine!" "No," I say calmly. "She was always mine. You just borrowed her for a while." Outside the courthouse, Soleil looks up at me. "Will I still see Mommy? I mean, Brianna?" "If you want to, and if she gets help." I kneel to her level. "But right now, let's focus on getting you settled at home. I got you your own room, painted purple." Her eyes light up. "My favourite colour!" "I know, sweetheart. I know everything about you." I brush her hair back, my hair, my eyes, my child finally returned. "Want to get ice cream before we go home? Can I get 2 scoops? You can get 3. As we walk away, I hear Brianna's sobs fade behind us. Lena catches up, carrying the final paperwork. "It's done," she says. "All legal ties severed. Brianna's visitation will depend on her mental health evaluation." "And Jude?" "The Arizona authorities picked him up an hour ago. Financial fraud charges." Soleil tugs my hand. "Is this forever? Really forever?" I squeeze her fingers, feeling 6 years of pain begin to heal. "Yes, baby. This time it's forever." "Good," she says simply and skips ahead toward the ice cream shop. Watching her, I touch the hospital bracelet I kept from my bone marrow donation. My blood flows through her veins twice now, in birth and in healing. This time, no one will ever take her away. Ready for your first day? I ask, straightening Soleil's backpack. The morning sun streams through our kitchen window, catching the purple highlights she begged me to add to her hair last week. What if the other kids ask about my last name change? She fidgets with her new lunchbox. Then you tell them whatever feels right. I hand her a banana. Your story is yours to share. The doorbell rings. Soleil tenses. She knows who it is. Brianna stands in the doorway, looking better than she has in months. Therapy and medication have smoothed the wild edges from her eyes. Hi, she says softly. I brought your favourite muffins, Sol. Thanks. Soleil accepts the paper bag carefully. Since the custody hearing, their weekly visits have been slowly rebuilding trust, one supervised hour at a time. I thought... Brianna clears her throat. Maybe I could walk with you both to school, if that's okay. I check Soleil's face. She nods. The walk is quiet at first, broken only by Soleil pointing out neighbourhood cats. At the crosswalk, she takes both our hands automatically, then freezes, realising what she's done. It's okay, I whisper. We're all learning. I got a letter from Jude, Brianna says suddenly, from prison. He wants to explain himself to Soleil. No. The word comes from Soleil herself, firm and clear. I don't want to talk to him. That's your choice. I squeeze her hand. Always. He made you both sad, Soleil continues. He made everyone lie. Brianna wipes her eyes. We were wrong, baby. So wrong. But you know what? You got 2 mums who love you out of all this mess. 3 blocks of mums, Soleil says, making us both laugh. That's what I'm telling my class, that I have 2 mums who live 3 blocks apart. The school comes into view. Other parents and children stream through the gates. Can I hug you goodbye? Brianna asks hesitantly. Soleil hugs her quickly, then turns to me. Love you, Mum. Love you too, Sunshine. I watch her join the crowd of 4th graders. Brianna lingers. Thank you for letting me be part of her life still. I know I don't deserve it. You're right, you don't, I face her. But Soleil deserves to know all the people who love her, even the ones who made mistakes. I found the house listing, she says quietly, in Arizona, where we ran to. It's for sale again. Planning another escape. No, I'm selling it. Using the money to pay you back, little by little. She pulls out an envelope. First installment. I take it, remembering the empty bank accounts, the stolen dreams. It's a start. That's what my therapist says. About everything. She watches Soleil disappear into the school building. Small steps, truth by truth. Speaking of truth, I pull out my phone, showing her the background photo. Soleil in her purple room, surrounded by science projects. She's brilliant, just got accepted into the gifted program. Like you were, Brianna's voice catches. She's so much like you. She has your creativity, though, and your laugh. But your strength. Thank God for that. She steps back. I should go. My support group meets at 9. I watch her walk away, remembering the sister who used to share my clothes, my secrets, my trust. The woman walking away now is both stranger and family. Like so many pieces of this complicated life we've built from broken things. Back home, I find Soleil's drawing on the fridge. 3 figures now, not 5. Me, her and Brianna, with the words, my real family, written in purple crayon. Under my bed lies the last piece of the past. That first note Brianna left. The one that shattered everything. I take it out, reading the faded words one last time. You'll thank us someday. The paper catches quickly in the kitchen sink. As it burns, I think of Soleil's smile this morning. Of Brianna's small steps toward redemption, of the family we're carefully rebuilding from truth instead of lies. They were wrong. I'll never thank them for what they did. But watching the ashes swirl down the drain, I realize I can finally let go of who we were and focus on who we're becoming. Sometimes that's the greatest revenge of all.